Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Canaan, there lived a young man named Joseph. He was the beloved son of Jacob, who had 12 sons in total. Joseph was known for his remarkable abilities, his radiant spirit, and his colorful coat, which his father had given to him as a symbol of his favoritism. As a child, Joseph often had vivid dreams that seemed to foretell the future. One night, he dreamt that he and his brothers were binding sheaves in a field, and suddenly, his sheaf stood upright while his brothers' sheaves bowed down to it. Intrigued, Joseph shared this dream with his brothers, unaware of the jealousy it would ignite. Fueled by envy, Joseph's brothers conspired against him. One day, when Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers who were tending their flocks, they seized the opportunity. They stripped Joseph of his coat, threw him into a deep pit, and then sold him to a passing caravan of traders headed for Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph was sold as a slave to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Despite his circumstances, Joseph remained steadfast in his faith and integrity. He served Potiphar faithfully, and with time, his talents and wisdom were recognized. Potiphar appointed Joseph as his steward, entrusting him with the management of his entire household. However, Joseph's troubles were not yet over. Potiphar's wife, enticed by Joseph's charm and good looks, tried to seduce him. But Joseph, guided by his principles, refused her advances. Furious and ashamed of being rejected, Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of attempting to assault her. As a result, Joseph was unjustly thrown into prison. Even in prison, Joseph did not lose hope. He continued to display his exceptional skills, and the prison warden soon noticed his talent for interpreting dreams. One day, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker were imprisoned, each having disturbing dreams they could not decipher. The cupbearer had dreamt of vines with ripe grapes, while the baker dreamt of birds feasting on the bread he had baked. Upon hearing their dreams, Joseph interpreted them. He told the cupbearer that within 3 days, Pharaoh would restore him to his position. Encouraged by Joseph's interpretation, he asked the cupbearer to remember him and plead his case before Pharaoh. As Joseph had predicted, the cupbearer was released, but he forgot about Joseph, leaving him imprisoned for 2 more years. Then one day, Pharaoh himself had a dream, which troubled him greatly. He dreamt of 7 fat cows being devoured by 7 gaunt cows, and 7 plump ears of corn being consumed by 7 withered ears. When Pharaoh's wise men failed to interpret his dream, the cupbearer finally remembered Joseph and his remarkable ability to interpret dreams. Joseph was summoned to the palace, and with the divine wisdom bestowed upon him, he revealed the meaning of Pharaoh's dream. He explained that Egypt would experience 7 years of abundant harvests, followed by 7 years of severe famine. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him as the second in command, tasking him with preparing the kingdom for the impending famine. Joseph organized the collection and storage of grain during the plentiful years, ensuring Egypt had enough provisions to survive the following scarcity. True to Joseph's interpretation, the famine struck the land, affecting not only Egypt but the surrounding regions as well. Joseph's brothers, desperate for food, journeyed to Egypt seeking aid. Unbeknownst to them, they stood before their long-lost brother, whom they had once betrayed and sold into slavery. Joseph recognized his brothers, but decided to test their character and remorse. He devised a plan to bring his youngest brother Benjamin to Egypt, and kept one of his brothers, Simeon, as collateral. Overwhelmed with guilt and fear, the brothers repented for their past actions and displayed their changed hearts. Finally, unable to contain his emotions any longer, Joseph revealed his true identity to his astonished brothers. He forgave them wholeheartedly, assuring them that his rise to power and their reunion was part of God's plan. Joseph invited his entire family, including his aging father Jacob, to settle in Egypt, where they could live in abundance during the years of famine. And so, Joseph's story became a testament to the power of forgiveness, faith, and the belief that even in the darkest of times, one's dreams and God's plan can lead to a remarkable and transformative journey. The moral of the story of Joseph is as follows. Forgiveness, faith, and resilience can transform adversity into opportunity, and even the darkest of times can be overcome by trusting in a higher plan. Throughout Joseph's journey, he faced numerous trials and betrayals, but he never lost sight of his faith or his ability to forgive. Despite being sold into slavery, wrongfully imprisoned, and separated from his family, Joseph remained steadfast and displayed unwavering integrity. His commitment to doing what was right, his interpretation of dreams, and his administrative skills ultimately led him to a position of power and allowed him to save countless lives during the famine. The story emphasizes the importance of forgiveness and the transformative power it holds. Joseph forgave his brothers for their past actions, showcasing the capacity for personal growth and reconciliation. Additionally, the story highlights the significance of trust and faith in a higher power, as Joseph believed that his dreams were divine messages guiding him towards his destiny. Overall, the moral of Joseph's story encourages readers to embrace forgiveness, maintain unwavering faith, and demonstrate resilience in the face of adversity, knowing that even the most challenging circumstances can lead to extraordinary outcomes.